G Game Master 16.
For a long time, the gaming industry has given us many idealistic characters that appealed to gamers to escape from reality. Characters are part of the core aspects as to why we pick up that controller and play. Most particularly, our female characters added to the experience with fit bodies, creative clothing, and charismatic as well as charming personalities. From the 80s to the 2000s, women in video games showed their beauty through their expression of character and outer appearances. Even though some of them were created just to be eye candy to the male players, their designs cater to the idealistic portrayal of what females can inspire to be. There is a great variety of female video game characters such as Princess Peach, Princess Daisy, Bayonetta, Lara Croft, Tifa, Aerith Gainsborough, Miss Pac-Man, Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, Princess Zelda, Carmelita, Chun-Li, Cammy, Elena, Juri, Asuka Kazama, Nina Williams, Bastilla Shan, Joanna Dark, Noriko, Samus, Eva, Quiet, Ada Wong, Siri, Faith Connors, Mai Shiranui, Morgan Ensland, Juliet Starling, Cortana, Liara T. Sony, Talizora Narcora, Aqua, Kyrie, Rouge the Bat, Elena Fisher, The Boss, Regina, and so much more. Each of the female characters are well-rounded characters that have their certain quirks about them dealing with their own conflicts, but are still pretty and could be vulnerable. Compare that with late 2010s to 2020s female game characters and something is missing. It catches your eye that females in games today most of the time are not so easy on the eyes, have the butch lesbian haircut, their faces are intentionally being made to be non-appealing and ugly, rejection of any reliance on men, making them less feminine and more masculine, and subtly making the women characters to be superior in every way, belittling men at every opportunity. But how did we get here? To answer this question, we need to look at before the rise of ugly female characters and its aftermath. I know I have to make you all suffer looking at these ugly androgynous individuals, but it's to get to the answer of why game studios in the West and some parts in Europe went the radical route with female characters. So, let's get to work. In case I forget, make sure to subscribe and share this video to get more people aware of this trend that's been happening in gaming for the past 12 to 15 years. Alright, let's do it. The 80s was the dawn of arcades, with females taking more prominent roles as warriors and side protagonists alongside their male main lead. Such characters include Reika from Time Gal in 1986, Princess Athena from Athena in 1986, Samus from Metroid in 1987, and Alice Landale from Phantasy Star in 1988. The games that I'm going to focus on are The Gauntlet 1 and 2 from 1985, Jenny of the Prairie from 1984, and Golden Axe from 1989. The Gauntlet series from 1985 is simply fantasy games that portray its only female character as a warrior, and the developers kept her as hot as possible because they knew mostly video games were dominated by males. They altered her look between both games, but kept her beauty and ferocity intact. With the next game, Jenny of the Prairie, the main character is Jenny, and this is the first game on record made by women for girls. They created Jenny as a young, modest tween girl that obviously does not show any skin, but the purpose is that she is a modestly dressed young girl with a soft face to fit the game's theme of survival adventure by the player playing Jenny to survive the winter. Lastly, Golden Axe from 1989 has Tyrus Flare, a female character alongside two male protagonists that's inspired from the Conan the Barbarian franchise. She represents another female warrior like my last example with a simple bikini look with long flowy hair. 80s female game heroines kept a fine line of young women being reduced to side roles or them as the lead while having them looking graceful and beautiful as part of their character traits. Let's move on to the 90s female video game characters. While women video game characters were side characters or just there to look cute and pretty in the 80s, the 90s era gave us female characters that really stepped into the main character roles for their own games. The female game characters were more loose with their clothing, and that was backed up by their willingness to stand up for themselves. Games that have these female protagonists are Sailor Moon, Alicia Dragoon, Street Fighter II, Jill of the Jungle, Alone in the Dark, El Viento, The Creon Conquest, Magical Chase, The Little Mermaid, Aliens, Rolling Thunder 2, Arkista's Ring, Streets of Rage, Tekken 3, Tomb Raider 1 through 3, Resident Evil 1 through 3, Dino Crisis, The Clock Tower, D2, Parasite Eve, Star Fox, and Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Let me break down the appearance of the female protagonists from a few of these games. Resident Evil with Jill Valentine, Alicia Dragoon with Alicia, and Tomb Raider with Lara Croft. Beginning with Jill Valentine from Resident Evil, the first game represented her as capable with plenty of military experience, equipped with a gun, and dressed in a soldier uniform representing the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance as a special operations agent. She has a blue beret, slim shirt with shoulder pads, heavy blue pants with a utility belt, slick black boots, and black gripping gloves. She is portrayed as knowing what to do in a situation, but still has a lot to learn. Then, the third game made her more attractive and as an undercover agent that is experienced in paranormal activity. She has a slim blue dress top with a black shirt, sleek brown boots, white shirt wrapped around the waist, and has a gun. After the fall of Raccoon City, her outfit complements her competency and determination to keep going. The next protagonist, Alicia from Alicia Dragoon from Sega, is a female warrior that is inspired by properties like He-Man, She-Ra, and Conan the Barbarian. She has traditional female warrior attire as seen in the box art and in-game. She looks very cool and can blast energy out of her hands. She is portrayed as a gladiator trying to stop evil, but still looks beautiful and strong in her abilities and appearance. The last 90s example I'm going to address is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Lara was the main female game character everyone liked from the 90s and still does to this day. Her look is so iconic, from the slim white tank top, short shorts, a belt with survival equipment, black thigh braces, brown shoes with tall white socks, and 2 guns. Her outfit enables her to do athletic stunts and to raid tombs for treasure. There are a few extra outfits she has, but the tank top and shorts is her recognizable look. The 90s brought us women going more into the main lead, while still keeping their beautiful looks and capable with their skills. Now with the 2000s to early 2010s, this was the peak of beautiful and yet daring female video game character design with slick and loose clothing, cool personalities, gracefulness, and the sex appeal. Some of the best female characters came from this era from the games Uncharted, Sly Cooper, Bayonetta, Metal Gear Solid, Blood Rain, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Super Mario Galaxy, Telltale's Walking Dead, World of Warcraft, Jak and Daxter, Mass Effect, StarCraft, Tekken 6, Portal, Street Fighter 4, Final Fantasy X, Halo, The Last of Us, the first game, Nier Automata, Metroid, and The Legend of Zelda. I want to offer 2 examples from this era because there are so many good designs to choose from. The first example is Bayonetta, as she has a very slim suit with beautiful long hair wrapped with a long red ribbon. She has all the traits combined with 80s and 90s character designs that encapsulates beautiful yet endearing female protagonists. Her weapon she uses is dual-wielding pistols to fire at her enemies. Many female protagonists in games from this time took inspiration from Bayonetta or other examples to make their characters look as beautiful as possible. The other character that shows this trend of attractive characters is Cortana from Halo. She is an AI assistance program that helps Master Chief with his missions. She has a simple design with a slim outfit with short hair despite being a hologram. Even though that she can't fight, she's still proven capable and intelligent and helps Master Chief take out certain targets. Cortana is a helpful assistant that serves her purpose while still looking pretty. 2000s and early 2010s female designs were peak in giving women agency and still making them look like eye candy, but that would all be put to a halt due to the infiltration of individuals that hate or is jealous of women's looks and start making female video game characters androgynous and unappealing. And trust me, we'll get into that in the next part. Nowadays, from the mid-2010s to 2026, we have seen a flux of very gremlin-looking female characters that try to be intentionally unappealing and target a specific audience. Even though games are mostly geared towards men, according to this survey that Capcom did a while ago, certain consultancies like Sweet Baby Inc.
We still look at our core demographics and say, okay, they're white, cis, hetero males, and we cater almost exclusively to them. And the problem is that we don't just cater to them like, here's something that we think you'll enjoy. We cater to them the way that we cater to like a picky baby. We feed them the same thing that we know that they love, and we keep on feeding it. We're like, here you go, you love it, eat this, eat this, eat this, so that then when they get anything else, they react as a picky baby would, which is be like, oh, no, thank you, I do not want this. And we've actually done this so long that what we're doing is creating an entire nation of picky babies, and they make us scared to deviate from what we actually want to do, just in case these picky babies don't want to play our games. Put this stuff up to your higher-ups, and if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
Bridge and Wings Interactive that got funded by private equities like BlackRock and Vanguard on how to not offend anyone.
You have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said.
Through characters, environments, or dialogue. I'm not going too much into detail about the infestation of the DEI virus crackdown on surface level diversity, but I'll briefly address certain individuals that led to many Western studios uglifying many female characters. One big influence was Gamergate 1, including Anita Sarkeesian, Zoe Quinn, and Brianna Wu. As mostly men dominated the game market in the 2000s, in 2009, Anita Sarkeesian launched a website called Feminist Frequency, which got shut down a while ago. It was an organization that analyzed different female tropes in movies, TV shows, and games, and how women are portrayed, addressing how much women are damsels to get saved, or how often females are in the spotlight than men. Feminist Frequency featured review blogs and had a series named Tropes vs. Women to tackle how media tropes reflect women, and it's doing a so-called disservice to women. She launched a Kickstarter in 2012 to fund the project, Tropes vs. Women in Video Games, and how the tropes of women from movies and TV shows affected women in video games. As she raised tons of money for her project, Anita was very controversial for her takes, and in 2014, the ex-boyfriend of Anita's friend, Zoe Quinn, posted a blog post about Quinn's alleged emotional abuse towards him when they were dating, and the ex gave a basic accusation and that she was banging with a journalist to get a good review for her game, Depression Quest, which looks really boring. In January of 2014, Kotaku journalist and partner of Zoe, Nathan Grayson, filed a short list of 50 games on Steam and wanted to highlight Quinn's game as the bestest game ever and is definitely worth playing. Not mentioning his and Zoe's fling, he gave a good review again on a website called Rock Paper Shotgun 13 days later until the relationship got exposed in August 2014 when Kotaku posted an editor's note saying Nathan should have spoken up about the relationship. This controversy was floating all around the mainstream media, and the culture mostly took it a different way from this point forward and calling gamers misogynists, or they just hate women, or it's an online harassment campaign from different journalists from Polygon, Kotaku, The Gamer, etc. This Gamergate incident played a really big factor in how more DEI consultancies and feminists infiltrated the game industry, being backed by BlackRock to push left-leaning socio-political agendas. The Zoe Quinn issue pushed various journalists to write hit pieces on gamers saying an awful week to care about video games, or talking bad about gamers in August and September 2014 in the headlines. All the articles bashing gamers came out at the same time very suspiciously, with an over 300% spike in the Reddit r/gamer thread, with links to the articles in 24 hours. That would seem odd that gamer hate articles were spreading fast, as like this was a planned attack on the gaming audience as a whole. Then on the VB boards on 4chan, #Gamergate topped the #1 topic to look at for 7 days. Major news organizations ran headlines to portray gamers as male terrorists or misogynists, while Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube blocked any mention of Gamergate or demonized the videos from 2016 to 2019. Multiple creators can confirm this through their emails to any of the support features on those platforms. Developers were feeling the effects of this as studios started pushing mandatory sensitivity training for employees that posted on 4chan, and a developer from a studio in Texas got fired after HR found his 2014 tweet with him agreeing that Gamergate was due to ethics in game journalism. To sum all this up, an article from Joe Bernstein wrote that games were for dorky white men and how their masculinity is toxic and the market has to move past them as customers, while arguing this to be a more positive move for the game industry. But that couldn't be any further from the truth. Like I said before, this Gamergate controversy, aka the Zoe Quinn situation, along with the help of Anita Sarkeesian and Brianna Wu, caused the game industry to become an empty vessel of radical liberal ideologies. It then became a ripple effect as liberal game developers took over and the evil frat boys that built the foundation and fun of the industry are leaving and starting studios elsewhere. As for the female character designs, yep, they really took a hit. Ugly female character designs are now being pushed so that they could try to push gamers out of the gaming space by not appealing to them. And these characters are from games such as South of Midnight, Unknown 9 Awakening, Avowed, Forspoken, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Aphelion, Starfield, Tales of Kanzera, Dustborn, Reloaded, the canceled Perfect Dark reboot, Mixtape, Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Saints Row reboot, Dragon Age of the Veilguard, 1348X Voto, Marathon, Spider-Man 2 Electric Boogaloo, Directive 8020, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, The Last of Us 2, obviously, Intergalactic The Heretic Prophet, The Outer Worlds 2, Concord, Highguard, Overwatch, Saros, Fable, God of War LaFay, Horizon Forbidden West, Wolverine, Mortal Kombat 1, Ghost of Yote, and Horizon Hunters Gathering. Adding on top of executives at these companies trying to get money out of consumers through season passes and microtransactions, they listen to consultancy firms and convince them to have diversity mandates, and that trickles down to the developers and then push their own perspectives in the Western game market. In the case of women, they make them androgynous to turn male gamers off and appease themselves and other people like them. The examples include Abby from The Last of Us 2 and Mary Jane from Spider-Man 2. To start off with Abby from The Last of Us 2, now, I don't even have to explain her design, and I know some people would say that she trained herself to be prepared for the apocalypse, but according to female biology, a female's arms would not reach that size with intense exercise without taking steroids. Neil was simping over this design though, but looking at it, she does not look like a woman except with her ponytail, but other than that, her breasts were reduced to where they are flat and have her dressed the same way a male dresses with a long black tank top, heavy brown pants, and brown boots. Abby's design was not meant to be feminine. It was meant to appease a certain crowd and not make her easy on the eyes at all. Additionally, Neil Druckmann, the head of Naughty Dog, got pointers from Miss Feminist, who married herself by the way, Anita Sarkeesian, which speaks a lot against hot female character designs, and that shows why Neil went down the route that he did for the second Last of Us game. Okay, let's switch over to Spider-Man 2 with Mary Jane. In the first modern Spider-Man game, Mary Jane actually looked decent and beautiful. Even though she is a reporter in this game series, in the comics, she is a supermodel, but that is not the point. Mary is dressed in a casual outfit with reporter equipment ready to work on a story. But in the second game, she had a big downgrade in that she still wears casual clothing, but her facial features got bigger and almost looked like how a man's face would look like. There were allegations that one of the writers of the game had her face model for the game be the face model for Mary Jane in the game, but I'm not getting into that. The point is that they switched the design from the first game to the second, and it's very noticeable. They decreased Mary Jane's beauty to try not to appease to men as part of being disingenuous to gamers. These examples I gave to you get my point across, and that gaming today does not respect its past, and would rather go along with loving, tolerant, and inclusive culture instead of going against the grain. Today's female character designs lack charm, beauty, and sex appeal, with a few exceptions, for inclusivity and pandering to everyone. But a game for everyone is a game for no one. Female game characters and what they look like is important to the gaming experience. The purpose of games is to not see ourselves or be our therapy sessions. It's about seeing idealized characters and environments to inspire us, excite us, or entertain us. It is provided as an escape and to enjoy yourself from the harsh realities of the real world. There have been games that actually provide that nowadays but are highly limited, like Expedition 33, Black Myth Wukong, Marvel Rivals, Street Fighter 6, Hollow Knight Silksong, Resident Evil Requiem, Astrobot, Crimson Desert, and Lords of the Fallen 2. If the game industry gets the activist-minded people out and the execs focus more on the gamer than the global audience, then the Western gaming sphere in particular can heal and go back to fun and whimsy little by little. Thank you for watching, and I recommend you should watch my retrospective to get what gaming represented in the past and how it was a playground of innovative gameplay and fun experience before the political apocalypse. There is one question I want to leave you guys with before I go. How can game companies escape the corrupt, greedy socio-political climate and get back to what made gaming a special place to be in? Subscribe, like, and share the video, and remember to keep your chill rate 100.